Unicorn Wellness Warriors. My name is Aubrey Pohl. I am the mindset coach for the Chi Hormone Warrior Transformation Program and for the Unicorn Hormone Healing Hacks Facebook group. So today, let's dig into a little bit of this food mindset, because it's not just about the things that we put on our plate, that we cycle into our body and use for energy in the world. Food is something that we are relating to every single day. We have a relationship with food, right? Just we have a relationship with our friends, with our family, a relationship with ourself. There's a way that we're relating to food as well. And as these unicorn warriors that we are, we want to understand our relationship with food so we can empower ourselves and empower each other to step into the cleansing of our body, the healing of our hormones, and the igniting of our life. So here's a little thing. Real quick, just want to talk about FOOD. So food, what it could stand for. F is fly. O for outcomes. O for obstacles. And then D for decision. So F, fly. Diane says this all the time. I love it. And I've really been embodying it more and more. And what will it be like when you embody this the most? First, love yourself. When we see that food in front of us, where are we coming from? What's first? What's first? Because sometimes it might be shame. Sometimes it might be shame. Sometimes it is love. Or other things that are going on, rules, values. Maybe it's our parent putting a food in front of us. Even if we don't want it, there's something there. However, fly. So when we first love ourselves, and we take a deep breath, and I welcome you to take a deep breath with me right now, placing your hand over your heart. And just tuning into yourself and honoring yourself for being here, for listening to this video, for truly partaking in your own life. So my question for you is, how do you talk to yourself in the mirror? So for a few years, and I recently just stopped this habit, when I looked in the mirror, if it was a full body mirror, I would judge. Do you judge? I'm sure a lot of us do. I mean, how can we not sometimes? Thoughts just come up into our brain. But what are you saying to yourself when you're looking in the mirror? These kind of judgments or definitions or clarifications that we make towards ourselves in the mirror will be reflected upon the food. So when you say in the mirror, oh, I'm having a fat day or something like that, if it's a negative direction that could be unbeneficial for you, in the mirror. And then we go on in our day, we go to lunch or dinner, and we already told ourselves one thing. Will it affect how we relate to the other things? How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so notice that, find this moment when you're looking in the mirror, and no judgment, just observe. Observe the thought pattern that comes up when you see yourself in the mirror. And I challenge you to say, I love you. Instead of looking in the mirror and lifting up my shirt and looking at my belly and seeing how I looked, what would happen if you just placed your hand on your belly and said, I love you no matter what you look like. I love you no matter what you look like, because who you are is not your how your body looks. Who you are is how you feel. Who you are is what you contribute into the world and how you contribute to yourself. So first, love yourself, because this is going to be super reflected upon the food that we eat. Because if we love ourselves truly, what foods are we putting into our body? Hint, there's a whole ebook of recipes of the kinds of food that'll be good. So first, love yourself. Really just come back into that state of I honor my body, I honor myself. Learning how to love yourself will explode and seep into every part of your life, especially food. Now, the first O is for outcomes. Because when we're eating, we put food in our mouth, there's an outcome that happens. And then there's the outcomes that we want to happen. You know, what direction are we taking our body towards with the food that we're eating? So what is the best possible outcome? And important, I wrote internal because the best possible outcome it might be, but let me explain. It's not to have a shredded body. It's not to be super toned or to be skinny. For what purpose? And it's always an internal outcome, because if I take a magazine and I open it up and say, this is my outcome, that's another person. It's another person. My outcome, your outcome is going to be you. My outcome is going to be me. So the best possible you. The best possible you from the food that you're eating. So what is the best possible internal outcome? For what purpose are you eating the foods that you're eating? To feel better, to gain energy, to create deeper self-love, to really feel the nutrients and the effects of eating food with vitality and nutrient-dense ingredients. So what is the best possible outcome for you? Is it to feel better, to increase your energy, to learn more about literally the foods that your body wants and doesn't want? You know, the way if you're gassy after you eat something, if you're having trouble pooping after you eat something, you know, all these things that your body responds with. Where are you already listening? And where can you listen a little bit more? The third O, obstacles. This one's the good one. Where are you getting in the way of you? What literal obstacles are there? And notice that sometimes when we have a habit or an identity related to food, that it could merely just be a representation of our subjective reality. So is the obstacle that you're coming across with food that you are addicted to sugar, that you're a food addict, that you're from the South and you eat Southern food? This statement, I eat this way, I am this person. We put ourselves into a box. That box can create the obstacle that stops us from achieving our goals because of this definition or this identity that we've just put into our own reality. Or maybe our mom did, or maybe someone did when we were younger and we adopted that identity. Someone told us that we were picky when we were young, and so now 27 years later I'm picky. And so this is all just, it's play. It really is play, and this is so prevalent in the unicorn world because the unicorn is play, and she plays with herself all the time. She notices where her mind is tripping her up a little, and she just brings her colors outside of her, from her heart, from her gut brain, from her head brain, and just exudes these beautiful colors of who you want to be. So my question is, what is your definition of food? Let me ask it again, and just think about the response. What is your definition of food? Notice what comes up. Is it fuel? Food is fuel. I only eat foods that fuel my body. Or is food is the tasty and salty and sugary substance that we get to take into our body. Out of those two definitions, one's going to have a certain outcome, the other's going to have another outcome. So what obstacles are bringing you not towards the outcomes that you want? and what obstacles are bringing you towards the outcomes that you want. But the obstacles that we're noticing are just mere thoughts, neurons that are firing in our brain. So becoming the observer, stepping out into that and saying, this is the obstacle I'm dealing with, is that I called myself a sugar addict. Do you do that? It's an identity. So now, is it creating a unbeneficial outcome because all I'm doing is justifying bad behavior, and every day it's like, well, I'm a sugar addict anyways. So these obstacles, because you have the opportunity to see the obstacles in a new light. Just by stating it as an obstacle, you can state it that it's an opportunity to be overcome. Because obstacles don't stop you. Obstacles are just in the way of your goal. So if they're in the way of your goal, you can figure out how to get through them. Because by the word obstacle, it means there's a finish line past it. So getting there, just observing where the obstacles are. Last one, D. The D. Decisions. My friend, I was talking to her, she lost about 65 pounds when she was younger, many years ago. I said, what was it? She said, you know what? It was a decision. It was a decision. It was when she decided to make that change in her brain first. Then she joined a community. Then she joined a program to help her get with the steps, and asked for guidance when she needed guidance. But it started with this decision. So what do you decide right now? Proclaim your inner unicorn warrior. What do you decide right now? Who you are is not who you were. Who you are is not the labels and the identities and the things our parents told us or the therapist told. Like, who we are is who we decide to be right now. What do you decide right now about your relationship with food? Where is everywhere that the decisions about how you're relating to food are helping you and bringing you into your light even more? And where are those decisions still causing a little bit more of those obstacles? Food. Every day we make opportunities and decisions, and we bring energy into our body through what we're eating. It's not just about the substance on the plate. It's about the stories we tell ourselves. It's about the way that we love ourselves. And it's about how our body processes the foods as well. So with mindset momentum, it's observation. Just noticing where your mind is. No shame, no shame, no shame. I had binge eating disorder for 10 years. I told myself that I had that, and it wasn't helping me, stepping away from it to observe it. Allowed for this to happen. So the first thing to focus on is this. Where you're flying. First, loving yourself. Noting your outcomes, your internal outcomes. For what purpose? The greater purpose for why you are watching this video right now. The obstacles that are in the way that often are just our own illusions. And then the decisions that we make on a daily basis of who we are and how we live our lives. So thank you, Unicorn Wellness Warrior. I am here for you. We're all here for each other, this group. And the deeper dive comes in when you know and you make the decision to cleanse your body, heal your hormones, and ignite your life. My name's Aubrey again. Mindset momentum for today. Bye, ladies.